You know, I'm glad you brought that up, Mr. Scott P. Baker, because it's a G, isn't it? Because they're clones, and they all were raised in the exact same place in the exact same way, presumably. So how would they have such completely different personalities? That's a question that I actually put in my notes.
And different forces. They all have a different force.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, maybe if they were raised in different planets, then they'd have like different personalities or different whatever. But they are exact biological clones that were raised in the exact same situation for the exact same purpose.
Why would they have an accent?
Well, because the actor in the previous movies was Maori, I believe, I believe he was Australian or Maori. So they're
keeping that.
Yeah, exactly. But what do you guys think? Is that even possible?
Well, yeah. I mean, if you want to like tap into larger metaphysical, question about like psychology and nurture versus nature and things like that. Like you think two people, even if they're raised in the same place, they're going to have minute differences in their experiences.
Right. But see, what I'm saying is these guys have nature and nurture that are exactly the same.
But that's even if they're raised in the same place, they're going to have minute differences in their experiences. Like, so like one guy has the path where he's going to become a general, and the other guy is going to be more of like the gunner type. So they're going on different career paths, like, okay, you're going to do this job and you're going to do this job. And so those experiences are different and they interact. Like maybe one guy hangs out with Jedi more than the other guy. And so he learns things that the other things, and those minute differences over time compound until you have somebody who has a slightly different personality than someone else.
And I totally agree with that. Except that I don't think that those differences would make them such different characters, just like, say, Vera and I are, or you and Vera are, where we're like completely different people with different hopes and dreams and fears and whatever. These guys would basically be the same person with like slightly different,
I like wondering about that. I have a degree in molecular bio. This is what I do. And think about twins. Like, they're clones of each other, but like one twin can have their own thoughts and the other can be completely different. And maybe, like, sure, they have the same genetics, but they might have different thoughts. Like, I have these friends, they're twins. One is dying of cancer right now. The other one's perfectly healthy, and they did the same exact thing. So, there's always some sort of, like,
But we all know that clones are different than twins, too. They're even, like, more similar.
Right.
It's the same. An identical twin is the same thing as the clone. But I knew a set of identical twins in college, and yeah, they definitely had different personality. I mean, more or less had the same environment because they were raised in the same home. But then, as they go through school, maybe they don't always have the same classes, and maybe like one has a friend over here and the one has a different friend, or there's always going to be different personalities that.
What if one twin grows up on, electronic dance music, and the other one heard some death metal, and they're like,
right.
See, but in this case, they all heard the same music.
They even conjoined twins have different personalities.
Yeah.
And they're like in the same body. They're like,
prove it. Place. Call some up right now.
Yeah.
We all know those.
Mom? Yeah. Ryan wants to talk to you. And Jan
Dad.
And Mom?
And Dad. Okay. No, I totally agree that they would be different. Although I do think that clones are more similar than twins, because twins, isn't it? It's two things. When they're first just one cell, when it gets fertilized, and then even in that process of going to 2 cells and 4 cells and whatever, all the way to when they're born, at that point they are already different. Whereas a clone is like presumably 2 of the exact same thing. But I don't know much about cloning.
I think it's the same.
Okay.
But,
It's
But
but personalities, they would differ.
Yeah.
Just based on whatever. Like, one tripped over a rock and grew a spine because it's like, oh, I can deal with this pain, and another one trips over and it's like, no, I can't live with this pain.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know.
That's why one clone is a general and one clone is not.
Yeah, I do agree that it's entirely possible. I don't really know the lore of it, that they're like that they all took different classes. You know, like some of them were like, as soon as they're born, they're like, okay, you're going in the general classes and you're going in the trooper classes and you're doing like that, in which case they would kind of start to deviate.
And I don't know the canon either, but I would presume that there might be some sort of genetic modification going on, that even though they are all clones, they're going to say, okay, well, this set we're going to make a little bit smarter to be the generals. This set will make a little bit stronger to be the infantry. This set will give better eyesight to be the snipers, or
exactly. And if that's the case, like then that explains it.
How brave, new world of them.